A girl is seen standing under the street light, and suddenly, a big, bright-colored monster approaches her from behind. After this, an announcement is heard coming from the television that for the past few days, the city has been haunted by a few supernatural events, as yesterday night, a woman was attacked while on her way home from work. The little girl is seen watching television but suddenly gets pulled away by her brother. The little girl's name is Lu Xiaoyu. He asks her if she is that hungry that she can't even leave the medicine alone, and the girl requests to have just one drink. Her brother asks Xiaoyu to apologize to Auntie Lin, but she says that she cannot move as she is hungry. He shows her the carrots and says that people from Zhonghu describe this plant as plant ginseng and that it is really nutritious. Xiaoyu tells him that she wants to eat instant noodles, and he thinks that her dreams are too big as they don't have enough money. She then points out his walnut-shaped locket and tells him to crack it in place of instant noodles. He tells her that it's not a walnut, and he has been wearing it since he entered the orphanage. Xiaoyu starts annoying him and tells him that she wants braised beef-flavored noodles. It turns out his brother's name is Lu Shu. After that, a woman gives 2 bowls of meatballs to Xiaoyu, and she thinks that her brother looks very weak as they get to eat meat for once, so she becomes merciful and puts some of her balls in his bowl. Lu Shu, on the other hand, is seen recording the fireworks in the sky, but he suddenly gets hit and is seen falling from the building. While falling, he thinks that he hasn't done the things that he has promised Xiaoyu, but he is already going to die. Xiaoyu's messages keep coming on Xiaoyu's phone, but both he and his phone fall down. Lu Shu is the main male character in this story. His story has not yet begun, but in a new year like this, he has already died. A person from a truck comes out and gets shocked upon seeing someone dead on New Year's night. But suddenly, an injured Lu Shu wakes up and says that the man is in big trouble. The man thinks that Lu Shu is a ghost, as he says that he should only run after he compensates him. Lu Shu feels surprised as he wonders why he is not dead and why he didn't feel any pain. After that, Xiaoyu opens the door to Lu Shu, and he tells her that he got run over by a vehicle. He says that the person is fine, but the vehicle is not. Xiaoyu starts wondering if they will be able to pay them back or not, but Lu Shu says that he has paid them back using the money that he prepared for her to go to the festival with. Lu Shu then tells her sister that he was just joking, as others were in the car crash, and he was just helping. After that, Lu Shu is seen taking a bath. While observing himself in the mirror, he thinks that everything is just the same. Suddenly, a virtual screen appears in front of him, and he thinks that he has awakened with a superpower. The screen then shows how much money he has, and he thinks his superpower automatically generates money. He starts thinking that he should use this chance to earn enough money for Lu Xiaoyu's school fees and grocery money for the rest of her life. He thinks that maybe Zhang Jin is the truck driver. Lu Shu then tries to figure out what negative emotion points are and starts wondering if Xiaoyu also has negative emotion points. On further reflection, he wonders if these points can only be used within the system. He then rotates his lottery system but gets mad when it doesn't give any results. Suddenly, he sees a notification that says remolding fruit has been added to the inventory, and items in the inventory can be withdrawn at will at any time. He eats the fruit but feels a very strong burn inside his body and finds the fruit very hot. Lu Shu is seen wondering if remolding means remolding his body in meridians. He thinks that negative emotion points aren't as bad as RMB. Xiaoyu then calls Lu Shu for instant noodles. He then closes the screen and goes out. While eating the noodles, Lu Shu thinks that because of this little girl, he had a good harvest, but he can't keep bullying her. He asks her if she wants to build a snowman after eating noodles, and she tells Lu Shu to buy her 2 sticks of tanghulu, which are skewered fruits and hardened sugar that are popular in northern China. After that, they both make snowmen, and Lu Shu asks her sister if both the snowmen look like them. He then asks her sister what she wants to do when she grows up, to which she replies that she wants to make tanghulis. They both then start teasing each other. After this, a man is seen standing on the roof of their house. Xiaoyu asks her brother if he is flirting with a girl, because according to her, he doesn't even care about his little sister. Suddenly, a notification comes that states the income from Lai Mingla's negative emotion points, which makes him angry. His sister asks if he is sick because of the cold, as she thinks he isn't acting normal. Lu Shu tells his sister to go back to her room and not to go to the temple festival tomorrow. He thinks that after a few messages in bottles, he can finally go for a lottery draw again. Messages in a bottle is a feature in WeChat. Lu Shu's lottery center spins the wheel again, and this time he receives a note. The nursery rhyme "Twinkle, twinkle, little star" is written on the note, which confuses Lu Shu. He asks the system to explain it to him. The rhyme then comes to him in a detailed manner, and he starts stressing each line. On thinking carefully, he realizes that the falling stars have created a galaxy in his body. He realizes that the starlight is also able to improve his power. His sister then asks him if he is asleep and wonders if he was singing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. He then asks his sister if she saw stars falling from the sky, but she denies it. To which, Lu Shu gets angry and tells his sister to go to bed and thinks that he better avoid Lu Xiaoyu next time or she would definitely laugh at him as she could still hear him even when he sang so quietly. Lu Shu thinks that only he can see the star atlas, as these stars must be training techniques from the legends. After that, the temple festival is visible. Lu Shu's sister praises him for singing the song yesterday, but he denies it. After that, they both start looking at the performers, where a performer is seen doing a fire performance with his hand. Suddenly, Lu Shu gets a feeling in his chest and thinks that the performer in front of him might be awakened. His sister interrupts his thoughts and asks him to take her backstage, as she didn't see anything. After that, in the backstage area, two men are seen attacking the performer. Both the men and the performer are seen attacking each other using their magic. A girl with a gun shot at the performer's neck, who faints. She orders the men to take him away. Seeing all of this, Lu Shu's sister asks why they are catching him, but her brother shuts her up. The girl says that this man did not apply for a permit for fire-related performances, and he violated fire safety protocols, due to which they will be bringing him back for an investigation. His brother gets anxious and thanks them for providing safety. He thinks that he will be a fool to believe them, as he has never heard of the firefighters knocking people out and taking them away. They both take a leave from there. After that, while going back, Lu Shu wonders where the men in black came from and if the awakened were brought back to be studied. He thinks that he was lucky as they didn't notice a noob like him, and he has to be careful next time as he cannot simply expose himself. His sister then asks him if the people just now were different from them. Lu Shu tells her sister that there are a lot of people stronger than them in the world, and his sister replies that, in that case, they should be stronger than them, and he agrees. A man is seen noticing both of them and thinking that this time they will let the witness go without hesitation. The man then approaches Lu Shi and his sister. He introduces himself as Zhu Wei, and Lu Shu asks him how happy he is, which makes Zhu Wei think that Lu Shu is weird. He then asks Lu Shu what happened in the backstage, but he doesn't respond and leaves. Later on, Lu Shu is seen sitting on the couch and wonders if the Zhu Wei is investigating superpowers. He thinks that he has to be careful about everything from now on. While noticing pictures of the festival on the web, he notices that the men in black were there all along and figures that they were coming for the man playing with fire. Lu Shu's sister comes then and starts asking him questions, but he tells her to go back to sleep. He then notices the incoming energy coming from his friend's negative emotions. He then notices Zhu Wei's income and thinks that he can really hold a grudge. After this, a man on the phone is seen asking Zhu Wei about prowling rats that have gone silent, to which he says that's because Nighting acted. Lu Shu thinks with the income he can now buy the only stellar fruit in the shop. After getting the fruit, he feels its energy within. He thinks, since the shop calls it a fruit, he should take a bite and eat it. Just after eating, a power is generated within Lu Shu, and he realizes that the first and second stars in the galaxy are lit up, and he can feel the power. He thinks that his body has never felt this good before. He then hits his hand on the ground in excitement and gets hurt. Suddenly, his sister comes and asks if something fell from above, to which he replies that he hit his head on the wall. His sister then peeps through the window and tells Lu Shu that something actually fell from the sky, and he thinks that she just wants to go outside to play, but she then pulls him and makes him look outside through the window. They both notice a man lying on the ground, having fainted. On seeing it, Lu Shu realizes it's the performer from the festival who was playing with the fire and got arrested. Xiaoyu wonders if they should save him, and Lu Shu tells her to call the emergency number 120 and ask her to tell them that they both don't know this man so that he can pay for himself once he wakes up. Suddenly, the system reports the income from Lang Chi's negative emotion as plus 70, and Lu Shu thinks he had pretended to faint. Lu Shu thinks that he should be one of those superhumans that the news has been reporting, but seeing that he's just lying there pretending to have been knocked out means he has not fainted. Both the brother and sister then decide to move him out of their yard, as they can't understand what he is doing there. His sister thinks of boiling water for him, but Lu Shu tells her to just feed him snow as boiling water will take a lot of time. The fainted performer thinks on the inside that people themselves have become cold. He then asks for help and tries to wake up, but Lu Shu pushes him down and asks him to rest. Lu Shu thinks that it's good to let the negative emotions flow, but suddenly, the performer starts putting out fire from his hand, and Lu Shu tells Xiaoyu to run. They both get in a fickle mood, but his sister comes in between, and the performer tries to aim her, but Lu Shu grabs his hand, after which the performer starts begging to let go. He then runs for his life and thinks that a family that makes snowmen is filled with kind people. After this, Lu Shu notices the men in black running after the performer, and he thinks that Lang Chi, the performer, has escaped from the men in black, but he thinks that he is weak despite not having any wounds. He then thinks that the performer might have overexerted himself by using the fire from the city center. Xiao then tells her brother not to get any closer to superhumans next time, but Lu Shu tells her that he has been awakened too. On listening to this, Xiao insists on seeing some flames, but he tells her that he is going to bed. After this, Lu Shu is seen asking the performer if he has joined Heroes Scan's Discord server, to which he replies that he will join it today and asks the Great Lord to spare him. Lu Shu is seen standing at his shop, and another shopkeeper tells him to close his shop and go to school, but Lu Shu says that he won't be late as it's only a few minutes walk. Lu Shu is then seen watching news on his mobile, which says that there has been an emergency at the shopping mall at No. 429 of Shisheng Road as it has caught fire. The news anchor says that the fire, which lasted the whole night, was caused by improper disposal of explosive materials. Lu Shu wonders where the foundation is coming from and notices that all videotapes of supernatural events that were banned on the internet are here, and the website is rated different awaken, different levels, and its acquired powers are seen. And Lu Shu wonders if it is planning to publish all information about the awakenings, as there are even video zones where one can post freely. After this, a few men come to Lu Shu's stall and tell him that he will never become an awakener and tell him to take his eggs back as no one will buy them. Suddenly, a very beautiful girl is shown, and it turns out it's the omnipotent school beauty, Cao King from Class 1. She is the top student in the whole grade and is the most elegant goddess. She then buys one egg from Lu Shu's stall, and he notices that the girl is an awakener. Lu Shu notices that there are more and more awakeners, and he needs to hurry up with the cultivation and try to get more fruits. He also thinks that he needs to collect more negative feelings during the day. After this, Lu Shu is seen standing in the class hall, and one of his classmates wonders if he wishes to be awakened and what kind of superpower he wishes to obtain. To which Lu Shu replies that he wants freedom, equality, justice, legality, etc. And his classmate says that's why he's the top-ranked student in their class. The exam starts then, and everybody tries to cheat on Lu Shu. He thinks this is a good opportunity to earn negative emotion points. That's why he hides his paper so no other students are able to see it. The teacher comes then and tells everybody to focus on their own exam. Lai Kai gets angry as he thinks the teacher accused him of cheating, and on noticing him, Lu Shu wonders if he is also awakened. Lai Kai tells his teacher that they are not afraid of him because he is now awakened and he will never take exams. Lu Shu, on the other hand, interrupts and says that he will be punished if he does so. He tells him that according to the criminal law, those who commit 8 major crimes must bear the responsibility of the same as long as they are 14 years old or older, as according to civil law, responsibility begins at the age of 14. He further says that Lai Kai is committing the crime of intentional injury. Everybody gets shocked on hearing Lu Shu's knowledge and keeps getting an increase in his negative emotion points. Lai Kai then pushes the teacher and picks up a table to attack him. He tells Lu Shu not to get in his way. Lu Shu then tells him that according to the school's rules and regulations, he will need to make compensation if he damages a public possession. Everybody then gets surprised, but suddenly the principal comes and tells everybody to go back to their class and study on their own. The bodyguards hold Lai Kai, and Lu Shu thinks that they are dressed like those people in black from the other day. Students tell each other that it's the era of superpowers to be awakened, and suddenly Lu Shu and Cao King notice each other. After this, an announcement about a blood test is made on the speaker, which tells the students to wait in their classrooms. Lu Shu, on the other hand, does not feel right about it. Later, doctors and students are seen in the classrooms, and Lu Shu thinks that his body is obviously stronger than before after taking that marrow-washing fruit, and the blood test might reveal him. He then notices that they are just the people in black wearing a doctor's outfit. As his name is announced, he tells the teacher that he is not feeling very well and needs to go to the bathroom as a way to escape. The doctor notices that he is in a hurry and tells him to come first. Lu Shu thinks of faking a coma, but suddenly, a girl starts having a needle panic attack and faints. The doctor takes her blood sample and then grabs Lu Shu's arm to take the sample. After that, Lai Kai comes back and says that he is awakened now. He tells Lu Shu that Luo City is about to have this vital class where all the special students will be gathered to study, and this vital class will be held in their school. He further tells him that this blood test will determine who's qualified to enter the vital class. Lu Shu then wonders if they are gathering all Awakeners to train them together and thinks that the Awakeners have been officially admitted by authority. He wonders if he will be admitted to the vital class. After this, Lu Shu goes home and asks Xiao Yu to guess what he has brought, but he notices her sleeping with a red face and thinks something is wrong. Xiao Yu develops a fever. She tells Lu Shu that she washed his clothes with cold water, which is why she got a fever. Lu Shu thinks that the remolding fruit may be able to change Lu Xiao Yu's physical condition and improve her physical ability. He gets the fruit from his system and gives it to Xiao Yu to eat. Xiao Yu's fever comes down with it. and she asks her brother if he is awakened. Lu Shu tells her that he is not sure about it, but that he is a different person now. He asks Xiao Yu if she wants to become an awakened, and she says yes. After this, Lu Shu is seen eating 3 remolding fruits. He thinks if one stellar fruit can provide 15 days worth of stellar power, then a remolding fruit will only require 9 days to increase his training efficiency. He thinks that after using the remolding fruit he can improve his body's potential, and only then can he speed up his training, as he can also gather the starlight even faster. On further reflection, he realizes that he needs the remolding fruit to improve Xiao Yu's foundation in order to prepare her for her awakening. He decides to count on only his peers for the remolding fruits. After this, Lu Shu is seen standing in the class when his teacher enters with a lady. He tells the students that their city has decided to form a Dao Yuan class in their school and to gather talented students. And in order to provide a uniform learning environment and training, the head teacher of Dao Yuan's class has come. After that, he starts announcing the names of the students for selection, and Lu Shu's name also gets announced, which helps him gather more negative emotion points as his classmates all get jealous. His classmate congratulates him for getting in, but all the others get jealous. The teacher then says that because of the formation of Dao Yuan, they are going to accept a group of transfer students. Suddenly, a mixed-blooded girl enters the class. The mixed emotion girl insists on sitting with Lu Shu. Yiling, Lu Shu's classmate, stands up, and his teacher says that since she has given up the seat, the new student can sit. Lu Shu thinks that he has to talk carefully since the new kid is not a normal human. The new kid is introduced as Zhang Shui and says that she transferred from Erzhong and is a guy. The other kids get shocked after listening to this. Lu Shu confirms his biological sex by carefully noticing him. After that, all the students are seen sitting in the Dao Yuan class, and Lu Shu thinks that they are going to learn Dao spells. The head teacher passes them a non-disclosure agreement to sign. And Lu Shu thinks that the Dao Yuan class is helping the military train an awakened army, since leaking information is going to be under military purview. The head teacher asks Lu Shu about sodium, but he answers it wrong. The teacher tells the students that they have accidentally discovered that it has other uses as well. It is used to measure the blood's response to Kai and is also known as potential. She says that it is normally silver in color, and once the sodium-potassium alloy is exposed to the blood of different people with different potential, it will change its color, shifting from silver to black. She further says that the more potential a person's blood contains, the blacker the silver becomes. She then says that potential has been separated into 6 levels. She tells the students that if anyone cannot stand the training, they can leave, as it will require willpower and is competitive. The head teacher then starts announcing every student's level, and it turns out Lu Shu's level is level F. Lu Shu thinks that since he had not eaten the remolding fruit when they took his blood, this is not his final potential, but he thinks that this way, the men would spy on him less. A student then asks if someone has level in their class, and the head teacher replies that the student with level is Cao King Si. Here's the video ends. Guys, if you liked this recap, then like the video. I will meet you in another video. Till then, bye.